Hey guys, in this section we're going to be applying categories to our posts. We want to be able to show posts just from a single category, and that should be via URL. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's open up a shell and go to our blog directory. So we'll go to C sites, my Ruby blog. And let's just start up our server with Rails S. And I'm going to open up my browser, localhost 3000. So this is where we are in our app. We still don't have a home page. We're actually going to be doing, I think the last chapter, I think we'll be doing all the display and views and presentation stuff, because we're going to have a nice looking blog. It's not going to look like this. But yeah, what I want to do now is apply categories. And what I mean is, if we go to, remember we have a categories resource and a post resource. And if we go to categories, we get a list of categories, and that's fine. We'll make these links to go to each category, but say if we go to categories /1, what it does is it just brings us to the page for that category, and all we have here is just the name. We don't want this. What we want is a list of posts that are in the category with the ID of 1. So we're gonna have to edit. First of all, we have to edit our categories show view, which is this, and then we got to edit the show controller and the post view, because what I want to do, if I go back to posts and we click on this post, we have it so it shows us that it's in the news category, but I want to be able to click on this and then go to a page that lists all the posts in the news category. So we want to open up we'll go into our websites folder, or our apps folder, sorry. And what we want to do is open up the categories. We want to go to app and then views, and then categories, and then show. So this is our show view. If I go back to categories 1, this is the show view. Okay, so we just have the name and then the name of the category, and then these links, edit and back. And the edit should actually, we should have already gotten that out of there, because we're not going to be using the front end to add content or edit content. Now I also want to open up our categories controller, and we got to edit that. I don't know why I closed that, but in our app folder and then in controllers, we want our categories controller. And this is what yours should look like as well if you've been following along. And this here, this respond to, this actually was created when we did the hold on. That was created when we did the scaffolding. We don't need this here because we're not going to be using any JSON formatting. Everything's going to be HTML. And I mean, this is handy if you're making really intense JavaScript applications that need to pass JSON back and forth from the server. But we're not going to need this, so I'm actually going to get rid of it just so it doesn't confuse you. So if you want to get rid of the entire respond to block, including the end, make sure you get to that last end, or you'll be getting errors. So I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to take it out of here too, and I'm going to save that. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get it out of the post controller as well. Actually, no, we didn't use scaffolding for the posts. So that should be it. That should be the only instance of that you see. And you can get rid of these comments as well. Alright, so now that looks much cleaner, and we can actually see what we're doing. So what we want to do in the categories controller is we want to go to the show action, and this first part that we have is fine. It's just it's grabbing the category with the ID that's in the URL. So that's where this one comes from. But what we got to add here, first of all, I want to add a title instance variable. I'm sorry, this isn't PHP. I keep doing the dollar signs. Yeah, we just want to get the title of the category, and we can do that very easily. Just do category dot name, and now we want to grab the post, because remember, in this view we want to list posts. Right now we don't have anything to do with the posts, so we want to create a post instance there. There I go again with the dollar signs. Posts, and we're just gonna get remember how we associated posts with categories. Categories can have many posts, and posts belong to categories. Remember we did that in the model. I'll actually show you real quick. If we go to app and then models, we go to category, you see we has many posts, so that's an association. And if we open the posts model, you can see belongs to category. So that means we can use variables like this, category dot posts. So we can use that because we made that association. And I think that's it for the show method. If we save that, and that's just the controller, so you're not going to see any differences here yet. We got to edit the view for that. So if we go back to the show view for the categories resource, this stuff we can just get out of here. We can just remove, and what we want to do is create a loop, and we've created these before. So we want to open some tags, and we're going to do posts. So this post here is coming from right here, so it's grabbing all the posts in the specific category. So we want to do post.each do, and we'll put a post in here. This makes it so it's accessible in our loop. So post, then we can close that up and open another set down here to end this block. And in the middle here, we're just going to pretty much do what we have on our main page, on our main post page, which is just a list with the title and then the content or the body. So I'm going to open some H3 tags, and in the H3 tags we're going to have the title, but it's going to be a link. So we want to open up our tags and do link to, and the first argument we pass to link to is going to be the actual text that we want to display, and we know that that's going to be the post title. So we'll do post.title, and then the next argument is the actual link that we want it to go to, and we can just use post right here, and then we can close those up. So that should give us the title. And next we want the body, so let's use some paragraph tags, and in that we just need to do post.body. Okay, so that should work. Oh, I'm sorry, we need the tags. It's not going to work without those. So if we save that and then reload, and we get an error. Alright, let me just check this out. Undefined method each. That looks fine. Let's go back to the category controller, and two mistakes actually. This should be a lowercase c, and it also needs the @ sign in front of it. So that should do it. So save that, and still Oh, this should be posts, plural. Save, reload. Alright, so now it's working. Sorry about that, guys. So you'll see now we're in category 1, so it's showing these two posts. Category 2, I believe there is none. I believe, yeah, see, we get nothing here. We're going to have to do something about that. If we go to 3, that's our second post is in category 3, and it works the same way. So we're going to do we get some editing to do here as far as display and format, but yeah, so that's good. So the next thing I want to do is, if we go on into a post, I want to make this a link that we can click on to go to the news category. So we actually need to open up in our app folder, in controllers we want the no, we don't need the post controller. We need the post view. So we go in views, posts, and we want the show view. So this here is what we're seeing right here. You can see we have the category. It's just going to the post.category.name. That's what's displaying. We want to make this a link. So what we want to do is link to, and we want to keep this as the actual text of the link. And so we pass in the second argument, which is going to be where we want the link to go. And what we want to put here is category path. So this will take us to categories, to the category path, but we also need the ID of the category. So we can actually pass that in. If we do ID, and we want it to go to the post.category.id. So you can see you can use the category variables using the post instance variable. See post.category.name, post.category.id. So that's really cool, and that in Rails you don't have to do any SQL or table joins manually. It does it all for you, so it's really great. So if we save this and we reload, now you can see news turned into a link. If you click that, it takes us to the correct category. So if we go to our second post, the category is programming, and if we click that, one thing I want to do here is add the title of the category. So go back to the show view of your category, and I'm going to open up some H1 tags here, and in that we should be able to use our category, our instance variable, and just do category.name, but you do need the tags here. Alright, so if I save that and reload, now we have the heading. So if we go back, we click on news, and we get the news heading. So it's looking up. I actually want to put a back button here as well. So if we go back into the, where are we? We're in the categories view. And we don't have very good navigation right now, but once we get our layout and our template all set, then it'll be much easier to navigate. And there's probably small things here and there that you might be noticing that are kind of loose ends. We're going to touch all that up in the last chapter, so don't worry about that. So right here, what I want to do is I want to add a link that just goes back to the list of categories. So we can do that with a link to, and we'll just say back to categories, and the second argument we can just put categories path. That should work. So if we save it and reload, now we can go back to the categories. And I actually just want to make these linkable as well. We're not going to keep the same layout I think it's a table. This is what scaffolding created for us. And actually, yeah, let's change that up a little. Let's make that an unordered list. So this would be the index. This is the categories index view. So if we go to app views, categories, index, see, scaffolding generated this table for us, which I don't know why they're still dealing with tables. So let's get rid of that. So get rid of that, all these TR and TD tags from 1999. Alright, so now we should just have just a list of tables. Let's just make it an unordered. Actually, we want to put the UL tags on the outside of the loop, or else those will be reiterated. And so we just want the list tags inside. So if we reload that, where are we? Categories, right? Alright, so now we have a list. We want to make those links, and we'll do that by link to. We want to keep the text category name. We just need to pass in a second argument, and category should work, just category. Save. If we reload, they turn to links. Now if we click on news, it takes us to the news posts, and down here we have a back to categories, so we get some nice navigation going. And we don't have any posts here in tutorials. We'll have to do something about that. We'll have to do some kind of conditional statement. Design has nothing. Programming has one. So yeah, I mean, we're getting there. Well, let's actually take care of that now, because we don't want just nothing displayed. Let's at least put a message there that says there's no posts, and we can do that very easily. We'll just go into we want the categories show view. So up here where this loop starts, we can just put if right in front of it, and we can copy this end and turn this into, wait, I'm sorry, we don't want that there, because we want this link, the back to categories, we want that there no matter what. So we change this end to and dot empty, and then a question mark. So what it's saying is, if there's posts, then display the title and body, and if they're empty, then we'll just put sorry, there are no posts in this category. We'll put that in a paragraph. So that should be good. Okay, let's save that, and if we reload, we get a big error. Alright, unexpected keyword. Oh, I'm sorry, I put and. This should be end. Okay, save that and reload, and now we have a message if we have no posts. So if we go back and we go to news, we get the posts. Say design, no posts. So that's it for you know, connecting the categories to the posts. They're collected. They have a database association, and we connected them from within the routes and the controllers. So next up, what I want to do is install ActiveAdmin and start working on the admin side of this app.